So let's start with you, first of all.
Oh, yeah, hi. So, Mr. Mohammed, basically, I have been dealing in the field of education for last 15 years. And what I have been doing is I have been helping entrepreneurs to like how we can take technologies. And because if there is a growth in entrepreneurship, so this is a public-private um, partnership. So it's a public-private community partnership through which we try to reach different countries and try to establish this connect and take. And it's not only about giving something; it's also about taking the best practices from other countries in this country, in India. So I got the opportunity. So social entrepreneurship always excited me, and that is how I decided to get in touch with the professor, the Nobel laureate Professor Mohammad Yunus, and
Yeah.
he was quite generous enough to like give me the time. So I traveled from India to Dhaka just especially to meet him and spend some time with him. And got a lot of insights, got a lot of and got a lot of insights, got a lot of like inputs, and I was very impressed with the way he was thinking. And undoubtedly, he has created a very big network of Grameen across Bangladesh. So
Sure.
it's
It's
a
a huge
model.
project. It's one of the main pillars
Yeah,
for social entrepreneurship worldwide.
absolutely, absolutely. And energetic team is very energetic. So he also took me around to some of the projects which were going on. And that is how we thought of like, why not take IT skills? So ultimately, what we were thinking was that we have a network of centers over here in India. So in the similar model, give rise to social entrepreneurship, provide IT skills to the grassroots people so that the opportunities, because ultimately every single thing is in the digital literacy. And because of lack of digital literacy, there will never be opportunities. Every single thing is digital nowadays. So
Yeah.
it starts from the basic skills, basic IT skills, and then how one can like try to gain opportunities using the IT skills. So that was the whole idea, and that is how all we discussed. And then we also decided to have a pilot in certain of his establishments, and it absolutely went ran very successfully. So that is one thing which I feel very happy about. And again, now this is like when I saw about your website, I was equally impressed because so many of entrepreneurships in your website and the type of work you have been doing. So I probably read every given thing last night. For last 3 4 hours, I was just viewing your website and I was waiting when this meeting could happen and we could interact. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Sorry.
sure. It's proud.
Sorry
I'm
for
so proud
stopping
for
it.
this meeting for sure.
Yeah.
Uh, um, my approach for the social entrepreneurship actually started since 2013. Um, I'm teaching the entrepreneurship and venture management and introduction to SMEs and marketing channels and different courses. But my main passion for the social entrepreneurship, that we have a gap of knowledge. We
Yeah.
have two kinds of organizations: the pure for-profit businesses and the pure non-profit businesses, and both of them are to some extent constrained by the legalities and
Yeah.
constrained by some restrictions concerning the benevolence, concerning the non-profit organizations. It depends upon donations and benevolence, and that's why the social impact
Yeah.
usually restricted by this benevolence or donations and kind of donations. On the other side, they have tried a lot to introduce the concept of social responsibility for the big companies and companies in order to have a social impact. But also this is to some extent
Mhm.
restrained or constrained or restricted by the intention of the shareholders. If they have a good
Yeah. True.
budget for this or not, no problem. The hybrid organization,
Yeah.
beside this, is in between both of them. This is the social enterprise.
Mhm.
This is
Yeah.
the real social entrepreneurship. It's not non-profit businesses. It's how
Yeah. Yeah.
to sustain our ability to have an impact in the society for profit sake. And this is the the mix of them. It's a for-profit business,
Very
but
good.
its main operations and main project is the social impact or social or finding a creative solution for a social problem.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why I've started before different startups. I've tried for sure. I fail a lot, but we have currently some activities concerning a network for it's a sales company without salespeople, in order to help the downsizing plans We have something called now corporate refugees. Many people after Corona pandemic, we have the great huge of movement of downsizing in big companies,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and they have a good network and a good professionals. That's why I've tried to introduce a new solution to help the companies and to have a social impact. We are dealing with this this is the project of Groubna. And Groubna, it's in
Yeah.
Arabic.
Yeah.
In Arabic, it means our group, but it's not in Arabic. It's Groubna, the
Yeah.
abbreviation of Group of Business Networking Advocates. Business network, like we have
Very good.
now, a meeting, a network meeting. It's by LinkedIn,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then we transform the relationship face to face in order to find the mutual or the sharing opportunities between us. This is the art of networking, which is
Yeah.
too hard to be and approached or addressed by many people professionally. And it's not taught in educational programs. The art of networking, for example, skills
Correct.
of making a relationship with someone, and the skills of win-win situations. How to this is the reciprocity principle. I can help you, and you will help me
True.
regardlessly the economic value. We are dealing with the
Yeah.
social value meanwhile, and then the economic value will get
True.
yeah, later on will
True.
appear between us. That's why
True. Very.
I have to introduce myself by this approach that I'm a social entrepreneurship activist, still struggling to make something good for the people and for the community and the society. And this part also, it's a global aspect. It's a global approach. It's not a single purpose approach for a country or something like that. That's why I'm so
Yeah.
happy for this meeting and to hear about
Very nice.
your relationship with Mr. Mohamed Yunus, one of the biggest mentors for all of us
Yeah.
globally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Very.
educational part that you are an expert in this field. This is the main concerns future, for the future
Yeah.
generation. Yeah, this is the biggest problem: the democratization of education
Yeah.
using the technology. And this
Yeah.
is the main approach for technology now, that technology facilitates the sharing economy, facilitates the collaborative economy, to introduce by technology and by software as a service and the educational systems online. We may facilitate the knowledge for all of us, for all the people.
Correct.
This is the good approach that we can, integrate our efforts to for business, and this is the new approach. This is for business in order to have a sustainable solution.
Correct.
It's not by donations or by non-profit businesses or gathering some donations and trying to to sustain the life. No, if you have a
No.
business model, if you have a good business model, global business model, inclusive one, to include different organizations in different countries in order to achieve this purpose, to find this purpose. And meanwhile, this is the last end of.
True.
Yeah, this is the best. Actually, I believe that the best end of life is not knowledge but action. I'm searching for the action.
Yeah. True.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Very, very impressive thoughts. And somehow I have to reciprocate with the type of thinking process which you have. And entrepreneur is like ultimately it's a great amount of energy. And when you add the social aspect to it, it automatically means giving. But when we are saying giving, it is not charity. When we say giving, it is about like coming together and like contributing. And we have to be sustainable. It is like if we tell it is charity and if it is depending on funds, it will never take off.
It will never
It has
sustain its
to,
ability to
yeah,
compete
yeah,
or to even to
yeah.
strive to let it will strive to live in this world.
Precisely, precisely. So having a model, so what means this is what I would like to discuss with you, since I have been dealing in the field of education. So because of various different technologies which are coming up, right? And right now the need is how we can digitize how we can bring the digital technology in education, and we have to do it through the entrepreneurs, right? So now, when we are speaking about education and digital technology, so something whereby now we see that people are sitting in their homes and like students are sitting, whether it is schools, whether colleges, whether universities, how we can like best, which is the best tool we can provide with which like they are able to, the educational institutions are able to connect with the student. There is a high quality of education which is given. So the students are glued to the learning process. They are not left out. Okay, the institution also knows, yes, the teacher is teaching, because otherwise everyone is in different island. The teacher is teaching, the students may not be sitting there, and the institution may not even know that something is happening. But how we can have a platform? So that is this platform whereby the students are there, the teacher is there, the institute is there, and of course everyone is interacting and performing different types of roles. So there are different initiatives, and through a particular network, through your network, we can actually take it not only restricted to Egypt, but even in the MENA region. Because right now it is running into 10, 12 different countries, particularly, and even in Egypt it is running. So
Yeah.
here is like we begin with one thing, which is about, say, learning management solution. This is the one thing which we begin with. And then we actually get into various different verticals, which is related to education. Again, the need of the hour is online examination. So best of the solution, international solution, at absolutely a rate which would be affordable to the most, like a public school. So something of that type. So it should be a win-win. It is not only like we benefit and the others don't benefit. It has to have a win-win type of approach, where everyone, all the stakeholders would benefit in the solution which is being provided. Similarly,
Yes.
whether we can provide some type of training for the corporates, like now they are displaced, now they are different. So to build certain skills into them, and like try to have certain type of rating, so that what they are doing also, so providing different types of skills to all type of labor, whether it's not only about the white collared people, it's also about the delivery boys who are there, so blue collared. So providing a type of like a network whereby how we can upskill them, how we can upskill everyone from where they are. So that is like a third thing which I was speaking about. And fourth, of course, is like whether there can be some type of exchange program, like a cultural exchange program where students have to come here, or our students have to come there. So some type of, so there are various different verticals through which we can think through. And as and how we progress in time, we can add more verticals, not only related to the educational part, but also related to the employment part. So that ultimately, see, the goal of a youth is about where they can get into a meaningful employment. So whether that type of, like, whether we can give them the exposure to working overseas, like in India, and working in the best of the corporate companies, taking a experience to know how things are working. So whether we can create such type of, so how we can help startups. So even there are a lot of startups. So whether we can create a culture of startups so that there is no much dependency on jobs, because nowadays, like they look for jobs, but whether we can like enable them. Startup is nothing but like an extended rod of entrepreneurship, right? So how we can build the culture of startups in our communities is also something which we can think about. And I feel that education is something which will help us achieve all this type of goals which we have in our mind. So this is what I propose, that if we are able to come together and provide certain educational related technologies. Now, all the technology, quite a number of technologies I have been experiencing for past several years. I have been given inputs and I have developed certain technologies. Of course, for the tech, I am not a developer, but I try to like give certain inputs with which certain technologies are developed, and we can offer them. We can see how it works, and in case, and I'm sure that it will work in our situation, because this has been going on for last 3, 4 years that I have been working on certain technologies of learning management system. So I see a good amount of opportunity in the MENA region particularly. And the
Yeah, for
best part,
sure.
yeah, and the best part of this is there is no dependency of the internet. So it's like even those remote regions where there is no dedicated internet bandwidth, or else every single thing is depending on the internet, right? And it may fail if there is only dependency on the internet. So even with the minimum bandwidth also, or no bandwidth at certain times also, this works. And second is this technology is device keeping the mobile user. So the student may not even have a laptop, but the interface is completely, means the student can learn, the teachers can give the content, the teachers can do the grading, every single thing using the smartphone. So it's a smartphone based learning, right? So I feel that that is how we can like try to reach the grassroots, and we can try to make a difference in that way.
We are working the same track that we need to delegate or to deliver certain hope for the startups by sharing services and sharing knowledge and facilitating the life for the there is a trend globally for the shared services to
Yeah.
enhance the performance for startups and to facilitate learning for this. And this is a good part of the idea for sure.
Yeah.
Also, I'll connect with you with this, and I don't know, I may post this video as well in order to introduce you to my group. I have a good group I will send you an invitation for sure, a group in
Yeah.
Facebook for Egyptpreneurs. I have more than 1,000 members there in order to introduce
Wow.
your idea for sure and how to cooperate with you. Also, I
Yeah.
have my mentor in business, Mr. Jairam, and I will connect you with him. Mr.
Oh,
Jairam, my
wow. Very
mentor,
good.
was my manager in Kuwait. I worked
Oh,
before for
wow.
5 years in Kuwait, yeah, and now he is the co-founder for a company called Gold Clicks. Go Clicks working in different financial solutions and technology solutions for sure. They have a good product called Smart Catch for the financial detection concerning fraud and duplication and different ideas. They are doing so well in different solutions and as a consultancy for the finance and the technology. And also we have a good network in India, by the way. Yeah,
Wow. Wonderful.
yeah, for sure.
That's great. So, and I've always been fascinated with Egypt, and Egyptians simply love Indians, and they love everything about Indians. And whenever I've been there in Egypt twice or thrice, and they're very fascinated about our movie stars. Everywhere I go, Amitabh Bachchan, they say, and it was.
By the way, we have a similarity in concerning we have a good impression about the quality of the technology leaders in India for sure. Yeah, if you get a look for the biggest companies worldwide, you will find the CEOs, CTOs. Most of them are Indians, by the way.
That's
That's it's a reality. And
yeah,
meanwhile, the Egyptian people now we have a good layer of developers and experts in technology as well in different places, and both of them, India and Egypt, may be concerned with the human power.
yeah, sure, sure. We should try
Yeah.
to build in our synergy and try to create some like great
It's all about
development.
people. All about people. This is the main assets. Main. It's a treasure. People,
Yeah,
power itself,
yeah,
and knowledge for sure. So it's a good point to start.
yeah.
Next step that you aim, or let us talk or discuss what's next step for actions concerning the collaboration with your approach in the MENA region.
Yeah. Correct. So, what we can do is, of course, this was the introductory meeting. So, and I'm really glad that I interacted with you, and I'm happy to listen to your thoughts and your views. And I also reciprocate likewise, like whatever you say. And now, the next step, what I would suggest is, of course, I'll send you the details as we discussed in this meeting. The next step, what I would suggest is, let's again, we can fix up a time, we can fix up a date, and I'll try to demonstrate as to what I'm talking about the technology which I'm speaking about. So I'll give you a brief overview of how this particular system works. So you can see that in the not only in the Egyptian context, but also in the MENA region concept. And then we can try and take this and we can try to find out as to who would be interested to like I become the back-end partner providing the technology, and then there can be these entrepreneurs who can get into the educational institutions and provide it. And then there can be a business model revolving around this particular technology. And we
Yeah,
begin with one vertical, and then we keep on moving to different verticals. So we start one at a time. And then as this is moving ahead, then we start some other things, which are the latest technologies or the trending technologies. And we try to connect every single thing because and we would aim that we want to reach the masses. That is the ultimate aim, that we have to reach to every single person across Egypt, and the technology should reach. So even if there is something related to some citizen facilitation things, okay, some type of youth opportunities to the youth, providing some skills, or means giving any type of information, knowledge. So we can collaborate in two angles. One is with the government, something which is related to the governance part. so technology related to that, or technology related to the people or the youth. So we can work on various different verticals. But of course, like it is said, that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. So we have to
Yeah.
start at some place. Okay. So
And
next time we
actually, I have an approach as well that I believe that in today's business, gone are the days to be exclusive. You have to be inclusive in your approach. That's why I will share this
yeah,
meeting
yeah,
with my community. For
sure,
anyone in our community, for any member in Groubna, in whether in Groubna or in Egyptpreneur community, if you want,
sure,
if anyone who wants to join this approach of this
sure,
community-based project, let us say this, that this
sure,
is a community-based project based upon the social entrepreneurship approach and
sure.
gathering opportunities and integrating opportunities between Egypt and India, uh,
Yeah,
acting for or targeting the MENA region in general, not just about Egypt. It's not about Egypt and India.
yeah,
It's about the MENA region itself.
yeah,
And this is a good opportunity. I have in my network a good number of companies, whether it's technology companies, educational institutions, any expert who wants to join this
yeah.
approach.
Yeah.
Welcome.
And one more thing I'd like to add, that someone who was also interested in doing something in India. So here also,
Great.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
So even that is like, we'll try to accept, I mean, completely accept that. Okay, someone wants to set up something here, any type of support, because I have tried to deal with a number of corporates also and number of educational institutions also over a period of time. So the type of network which means probably I have, so that I can definitely open up for the people who are interested to come and set up here. So that type of so for your network, that is also a advantage where they want to look at Indian market, because India is a very big market. It is a population of 1,300 million. So it's a very big market. So someone is interested in Indian market.
For sure.
Yeah. So that is
And we
also.
have a good network also. We have our friend Amr Khalifa, the MyProchain company founder in Dubai, in UAE,
Okay.
as a logistics and
Wonderful.
supply chain and marketing services for different industries. And we have a good network in Saudi Arabia. We have Mr. Khalid Rabia, one of our VIP members in Groubna. He's the founder of Ru'ya for advertising agencies in Saudi Arabia. We have a good network. I'm a networker, by the way. And I believe that yeah, we have to share our opportunities and our connections in order to get a certain benefit for all. It's not about
Sure, sure.
exclusiveness. That's why I'm happy that I will share this to the community,
Yeah.
whatever, whenever, wherever, whoever find an
Yeah.
opportunity to contact you, he will contact me, and then I will delegate or forward your contact for sure. And you
Yeah.
will find within the coming days that some people need to discuss the issue with you and to find out some opportunities to start with. And my
Certainly.
first step, my first step is also um, to conclude the issue in an article for sure, to be posted in my website and yours, and to start beginning as an initiative, because Egyptpreneur is an initiative. It's not a company. It's a kind of social interaction, social entrepreneurship initiative that leads to facilitate the learning for entrepreneurship and to find opportunities for startups. I'm one of the downsizing graduates of companies.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I find there is something called now necessity entrepreneurs. Necessity entrepreneurs, someone who has good experience, 20 years experience in business, and then he find himself nothing. I have to start a business. Most of the entrepreneurial initiatives addressed or target the young or the youth or the
Yeah.
young people. I have a problem now with the 40s people. Yeah, they need to start a business and they need someone to give him a hand for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I have a target for this as a social approach for sure,
Very
because
good.
I
Very
was
good.
one of them before making the side hustling. I'm doing everything in life, doing businesses, teaching, learning, whatever, and networking for sure. This is my lovely part of
Passion.
my day,
Passion.
to know more opportunities and to find more
Like,
collaborative actions, inshallah.
likewise.
Great meeting, and I think it will never be the last one.
Definitely. I'm with you, and I'm really happy that we got connected. and I myself completely commit to your cause. Thank you.
Thanks, thanks, thanks a lot, sir.
Thank
Sure,
you so much.
I'm so happy for this meeting, and this is the precious result of networking
Yeah.
online. But we have to transform the online virtual relationship to a face-to-face, a real-life business opportunities. Thanks a lot, sir, for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Nice meeting you.
thanks, sir.
God
Nice
bless.
to meet you.
Same
Thanks,
to you.
dear.
Bye.